Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our broadcast today. My name is Kenneth Igiri, and with me I have my good friends Oprah and Becky. So for now, you know them as Oprah and Becky. Later on, we can find out the details of their names. So, yeah, I don't want to give them up too easily because both of them are single ladies, and today we're going to be talking about what they want in a man. By the time they give you all the we call it expo in Nigeria and an apple in Ghana, you probably will start hunting them on social media. So I'll just give you their first names so you can do all the work yourselves. So today we're going to be talking about what a Christian lady wants in a man, and we're going to try to make it as truthful, as real, as genuine a discussion as possible. We're going to start with introductions. So I'll let you ladies introduce yourselves by yourselves. I did a little bit of a profile already, but I want you to speak for yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, and your faith, everything. So I'll start with Oprah, please.
Okay, so hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Oprah Unyadom. Most people call me Oprah Coco. So what do I do? I'm a graduate of international relations from Lancaster University, Ghana, and currently I am a radio producer. I produce on radio for Smooth 981 FM in Lagos. I'm a content creator. And I also have a YouTube channel, which is a faith and a lifestyle-based channel. And yeah, all in all, I'm a lover of God and I'm a Christian, I guess. So yeah, for now, that's a bit about me.
Okay, great. So, love of God, a YouTube content creator, and a radio personality. So we have someone hot on our seat today. So let's hear from Becky.
Okay,
Yes.
hi everyone. I'm Rebecca.
Becky has now turned camera shy.
I'm artistic. I like to have fun. I like to make people, make new friends. I like to travel. I like children. Hence, I'm with the Christ Temple ICGC Children Ministry. I graduated from Ho Technical University. What else? Let's say for now, using both Oprah's words, for now, this is a little bit about me.
All right. So I'm going to alternate the questions. I'm going to make the best use of the time we have. So I'd like to start from this one. I'll give it to both of you because I want to kind of lay a good foundation. I want you to tell us about your ideas about marriage. What is marriage for? Is it necessary? I mean, what are your beliefs about marriage as young ladies? So once again, I'll start from Oprah.
You start from Rebecca. Okay, so I so marriage to me, I think it's some things in life, right? As to whether it's a necessity or not, I'll just leave that to everybody's individual discretion. But I think that it's an institution that has of it. It's something that God had in mind and thought of and set in motion. So I think that it's a beautiful creation together to fulfill his agenda and his mandate for the earth. So, yeah.
Okay, so it's God's idea, but as for necessity, it's something that each person has to decide for themselves. So Rebecca, what do you think?
Okay, so I also think
Yeah.
marriage with the right person is beautiful. I say with the right person because I believe as ladies, especially, and we have to make sure we know who we are, as in our passion, what motivates us, what we want in life, and with that knowledge, we'll be able to pick or choose the right person, hence making a beautiful marriage. Because I believe there's life after marriage, whether it's a necessity or not. I believe as females, we shouldn't end it when we are married. Like, our life shouldn't just stop when we are married. It must go on, So I think as time goes on, I'll elaborate more on this. But I believe a marriage is a beautiful institution with the right person. Okay. Okay, so unfortunately for most of us the ladies, we get married, put to bed, and then we become housewives. So, before we introducing ourselves, we made mention of perhaps a profession or a passion that we have. Okay. But mostly we drop the passion, we drop the desire, we drop our life for the marriage. Okay. That's why I said earlier that it's with the right person, like the man to complement your passion, or the partner to complement the passion, or your desire, or what you are purposed for, your vision. Yes, so to say, your vision. And with that information, okay, with that information, and you asking God to help you pick the, like, asking, no one is perfect. Yes, no one is perfect, but at least you would be able to get someone to push you, to encourage you, to lift you up when you are down, to go in for more than just being a mother or a wife. So to me, marriage goes a long way. And I also believe marriage is a companionship, as in someone to keep you company. Because after the children are birth, there'll be an empty nest, and it's going to be only the two of you. So so mostly we women, when we want to get married, we shouldn't just hop into the car and be like, whoa, I'm getting married, and then that is it. But ask yourself, when there's an empty net, during this lockdown, there was there were so many interesting stories going on at the place. I don't know if any of you heard of some, but there were couples whereby their children were not at home. Either the children were with their grandparents or somewhere, and it was left with only the man and the wife. And it happened that there were tension, you know. So yes, they've never been together. Perhaps they had to wake up at dawn to go to work. They come back tired and all that. So they sleep in. When there's an issue, they don't talk about it. So this lockdown brought about so many, like, things in there. Yes, realities in there. So I keep saying marriage. Marriage is, I see it as a very, I think, like, it should be deliberate, it should be intentional to pick someone as your partner. So
All right, so
yeah.
Becky has stylishly told us that one of the things she wants in a man in marriage is someone who can complement her vision, someone who can motivate her to really pursue what she wants to pursue in life beyond the wedding and beyond the children. So I want to turn over to Oprah and also ask her directly this time around, if you want to describe the perfect husband, how would you describe him, Oprah? Your
Wow.
sound.
Wow. The perfect husband.
Mhm.
Ah, okay. So for me, the perfect husband for me would be someone who is faithful, someone who is faithful to God and the man who's going to be faithful to me. So faithful to God in the sense that he loves the Lord and he fears God. And then that in turn makes him faithful to me, that he loves me and he is able to honor me. So that for me is the perfect man, the man who is aligned with God, who has Jesus at the center of his life, and who is able or going to be able to incorporate me, my life, my desires, my purpose, and then those of my children continuously into the will of God. So I think for me, that would be a perfect man, just a God man, a man who is God first and love, So yeah,
Okay,
for me, that
brilliant.
would be
You see, Oprah's definition, Oprah's definition of the perfect husband is the spiritual husband, right? So I want to know from Oprah, aside from the spiritual husband, is there
yeah,
something that
yeah.
is there are there physical manifestations of this spiritual husband that we want to know about?
Okay, so I need to be fair and quite honest because we are human as well. I just think that some salient things have to also be there. I would like a man who is ambitious, someone who is continuously trying to be the best version of himself. Someone who isn't just comfortable at whatever level he finds himself, but someone who is constantly getting better. Because I think every day we learn new things. Every day we are work in progress. So a man who is continuously getting better, getting wiser, getting stronger, physically, in all aspects. And he also has to be a man who is knowledgeable. I am so keen on intelligent conversations. Like, I don't want to be with someone that, oh, babe, what happened today? You don't know. Okay, and Becky was saying all the stories that are happening, although they are not chapters and verses, but just the things, your normal day-to-day information. Like, he has to be someone who is also up to date and he can have intelligent conversations. And someone who is a down to earth man, he's human. He loves, he cares for the next person, he's respectful of the next person. Some people are spiritual to the extent that they just think that it's them and God, and they are oblivious of just the next person or the needs of your partner. So someone who is going to be able to recognize that, okay, this love is a me and you thing. It's not just a me and you, it's me and your family. So someone who's going to be able to care, is going to be able to love enough. And then lastly, I think I would also say a perfect husband would be a man of integrity, a man that not just me, or even someone else would say, okay, this man is a good man. He's a truthful man. He has integrity with his emotions. He has integrity with his finances. He has integrity just generally, like at work, you can say this is Mr. A. At home, he is still Mr. A. In the marketplace, he's still Mr. A. In church, he's still Mr. A. So he's a man with a good track record. So I think that for me is like my more physical side.
Brilliant. Wow. You see, the perfect man has a very tall resume. Resume of the perfect man is profound, you know. All right. That's a good one from
Done.
Oprah, and that's a good one from
Done.
Rebecca as well. So I want to dig deeper into this question and ask it in another way. Chances are that I don't know, I didn't discuss this beforehand, but chances are that one or two of you have been in relationships before now, one relationship or the other where it hasn't matured into marriage. I will ask this question in two ways. The first part of the question is, in the relationships where it happened that it didn't work out for you, and if you were the person who ended the relationship or the other person, what was it that gave you the signal that this is not what I want to live with for the rest of my life? I used to tell people that when you're married, that you're not marrying somebody you're going to be looking at for the rest of your life. You're marrying someone you're going to be living with. So what was it about the relationship that, gave you the impression that, look, I know this person is not for me? And then the second part of it is there are people who have the impression that these days, when people talk about marriage, they no longer say your spouse, they say your partner, because most people are satisfied with having somebody in a relationship for 5 years, 10 years, and they call the person their partner. They're not interested in calling the person their spouse. They want to avoid the legal issues. So, what do you say about that? So, I'll ask two questions in one. So, I'll start from Rebecca.
Okay, so with the first one, what made me perhaps end the relationship, or why the relationship ended? Yes. Okay, so okay, I'm very ambitious. Okay, I'm a very ambitious lady. I'm actually, one side of me is an activist. I'm a youth activist. So it's something I'm planning on working on, as in it's a process. And with that information, I'm deliberate as to who I pick into my life. So sometimes I'll meet a guy, a nice person, but I can end a relationship per a speech he makes. Yes, a speech he makes, or his how do I say it? Mostly it's about the speech they make, because Bible says in abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. You know, and Oprah says something about a spiritual man. But I read something on an ICGC what's the name, wallpaper, that I don't know whether you've read, but it says something about spirituality does not mean you should suspend your brain. So that means, in as much as you are spiritual, you should be able to think outside the box. You should be able to be creative. You should be able to have ideas. You should be able to, like, as Oprah said, like, you should be dynamic. You shouldn't be static. You should be improving day in, day out. So in as much as I'm like, I've been in relationships but hasn't worked because of things like, you try to say, perhaps you try to share an idea or share a dream, and then the person will just blow you off with a phrase, and then be like, whoa, this is a dead weight. Because if I say I'm going to be in this relationship, I have to be pulling and proving myself, and like explaining myself almost all the time. Like, I want us to be on the same, not necessarily the same ideology or the same standard, but it should be, we should have that kind of rapport, you know. So when I'm not getting it, I kind of hold back. I kind of pull back a little. Yeah, I kind of pull back a little. I think those are one of the reasons why perhaps
So, does it mean that in most cases you do the ending? Are you the one who is
yes.
perfection? Wow, confession.
Not like,
This
it's
this is the
not
confession.
it's not like I'm perfect, okay? It's not like I'm perfect, but I, I'm I don't know how to put it. I believe
Would you consider
we are
yourself picky? Would you say you're picky?
picky. Maybe not in terms of, it's a sacrifice for the vision I have. It's a sacrifice for the vision I have.
So
And I
maybe you can say you're
believe
deliberate.
exactly.
And
Because
for you, for you, marriage is not the end, the goal.
not at all, not at all. I want to be I want to be out there. I want to be out there. In as much as I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have to be out there, because I believe that we have been placed here for a reason. I am in Ghana for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I'm on it we all have responsibilities, okay? And we all have to achieve something for a generation. Okay, we having this conversation right now is someone's idea. Seeing each other right now is someone's idea. So just imagine when the person had the idea, and perhaps the spouse, the partner, or whoever is in his life tried to talk him out of it. We wouldn't be having this conversation today. So for me, that is my how would I say, my hallmark. That's what makes it. That's my ish, for lack of words. That's my ish for me. you know. So I look out for a man who be like, okay, you can do, in as much as perhaps he might not even believe in it. But Bible says that your tongue, the words from your mouth is powerful. And he who believes in it shall eat its fruit, shall enjoy its fruit. So if you are in my life and I tell you about a dream and then you just buy, oh this thing, you to this thing, these people, I'm like, whoa, this is the beginning, and we know we've heard stories of how marriages become sometimes boring. Your spouse can be boring, and in the beginning of the relationship, he's brushing your dreams off. So you can imagine when you guys are familiar with each other, and then you be like, oh, you cry every day, you disturb me with this thing, today this, today that, So for me, I'm picky because of what I want to achieve with my life. That's
Brilliant.
it.
So there was a second aspect of the question between partner and spouse.
Okay, the partner and spouse. Honestly, lately, it's good we're having this conversation because you meet a guy and the guy will be like, okay, me, I want a lady who is working, who bring 50-50, like we want 50-50. And I'm like,
Business partner, okay.
yes. And I'm like, where did all this begin? Where did all this begin? If the lady or your wife or the woman in your life has it and realize that, oh, there's no salt at home, she buys salt. Oh, there's prepaid, she buys the prepaid. Oh, there's this, she will meet you halfway. But you shouldn't like begin like, me is
Begin
50
with that
50 I
with
have to
that
do this,
arrangement.
let me, I'll do this. It's a business
Business
kind of a
transaction.
thing. It's like you are working on eggshells, like you are. I just don't like that term partner at all, because marriage by God, Bible says a man shall leave his father and his mother, okay, and shall be together with what, his wife, joined with his wife, okay, and become one flesh. So where from this partnership? Oh, she's my partner or my partner, and as I said earlier, words are powerful. You keep using partner, 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 and you start seeing her as your what's the name? These business terms they be is your stakeholder, or
The
the
shareholder in the
marriage is
company.
a business. Yes, the marriage is a business, and she's what's the name? She's having a share in it. Yeah, she's having a share in it. Yes, but it shouldn't be like, yes, you should do this, you should buy this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. Let it come naturally, and when it does, it's beautiful. When she does that, it's willingly, she does it with love, she does it with respect. But when you sit there and be like, "Hey, me, I want a woman who is working, so that when I do this, she'll do that." No, 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 no. It's for me, it's a no. It's a no for me. The
Brilliant. All
partnership
right,
is no. It's supposed to be
let's go back to
spouse.
Oprah. I want to hear Oprah's thoughts too on the partnership. And I also want to hear her thoughts about, there are cases where we've heard about people, ladies, young ladies who are involved with other people's husbands. Maybe they have defined their perfect husband, and their perfect husband happens to be married, and somehow they continue with that perfect husband even though he's married. So what do you think about that, and how do Christians deal with that when they are attracted to somebody who's already taken? Go ahead.
Wow. One of the commandments in the Bible is not to covet. So that alone, this whole side chick phenomenon that is happening, or baby mama things, or just the whole adultery or outside of your marriage experience is covetousness. You're attracted to that which is not yours. As Christians, we have to always have that at the back of our minds, that this man, this woman is married, belongs to another person, is for another person. So there is no how. And and to be fair, you see someone who is married, right, and has ticked all your own boxes and is the definition of your perfect husband. There's no, let's be, human, like, okay, you'd be like, oh wow, this man is amazing, this man is the kind of man I want. Oh yeah, let's end at that. Let's end at, okay, there are men like this out there. It shouldn't be, okay, I've seen this kind of man. You know he's married, and then you're feeling the attraction. That shouldn't be like any Christian single lady stand in life at all. It's not bad to say, oh, I emulate the not emulate, I'm attracted to this. This is the kind of man I want. It just gives you that head knowledge that, okay, oh, these desires I have, these thoughts I have, they are valid. It shows that the kind of man I desire is out there. There are men like that. Because mind you, the man you're saying, oh, I want him to be this, I want him to be that, is not isolated to you. There are 1,001 other people who want almost the same thing I want in a perfect man. And that just goes to show that there are also 1,001 other men who could be like that, or even better, Because I always say this, that we see something in someone and like, oh, this is wonderful, but I know that God's plan, God's desire for me as a person is far above what I think. So I'm here saying, oh, I want my husband to be this, I want my husband to be that. And God is in heaven just saying, wait till you see this guy as prepared for you. Like, it's going to blow my own mind. And I know that's also his plan towards the next person and the next person. So even our own thoughts, our own definition of what is perfect is even limited to what God has in mind. But let's just leave that aside. I just want to reiterate that being attracted to a married woman, a married man, is covetousness. You are desiring that which is another person, and that in itself is a sin. So it's best to kill it. Anyhow, if it's to leave that place, if it's to occupy your mind with other things, there are more important things than you losing sleep or being attracted to something that's already taken. It's not there. Even if the married man is going to indulge you, what you are doing is too wrong, and it's never going to make it right. Even if he's going to indulge okay, this girl is attracted to me.
Okay, so
too wrong.
Please, can I come
it's
in?
not going to make it right. So let that always be like a consciousness.
Okay, so I do. You see, mostly when this topic comes up, we then target, as Oprah started, we target the women, we target the female character, like we target the female. But you should know that it is the men that do the hands. You are there minding your own business, and then this guy pops up from, perhaps stops his car, asks for direction, like something, a conversation starts, or maybe you are your workplace, you meet all sorts of people working, and you meet people, you meet men. And then he says, oh, you are not, the men do the pushing, they do the hunting. They know they are married. So mostly when this topic comes up, I don't know why we always attack the female. It's not like the ladies go looking for the men. No. On most cases, it's the men who go looking for the lady. Yes, but unfortunately, whenever I listen to other programs that talk about relationships, and whenever marriage men dating women comes in, they pick the female. And I ask myself, how can a female go chase a married one? It is mostly the married men who go chase the females, And
Okay,
unfortunately,
let me put another side to it. Now, for a Christian, Oprah has given us the commandment associated with it: "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife or husband." And she has told us that you kill the feeling. But somebody will say, "Oh, let's be real, right? Are there cases where a lady can be attracted to a man, and maybe they have to work in the same place, maybe they have to be in the same church, maybe they are in the same neighborhood and all that. Now, I'm saying this in the context of uh, we need to now say how does it get handled? How does it get handled in terms of as a Christian right now? Your emotions are battling with what you know to be right. And
Yeah.
Becky, you're now talking about a situation where the man is chasing. Maybe the one is saying, no, I don't want, no, I don't want. But now, for you to be in a relationship, that means both of you have agreed. And I want to believe that the reason why we are people attack the women more is because the woman is single, she still has an opportunity to find her man. The man is married. So the thought that will come into people's minds is go and find your man, right? Instead of disturbing somebody whose man is waiting for him. So how do we put all that
Yeah,
together?
as you said, I want to be as we are human. I want to be as real as possible. Okay. I, for one, I had to resign from a job because my boss, like a previous job, my boss wanted more, something more than just a boss and subordinate. I had to. It wasn't easy. It was so tough. His attitudes, his body language, everything changed. That's in changed towards me because of what he didn't get. You understand? So that's why I say that these things, when it comes up, you should look at the women, the ladies. You are there minding your own business, and this man pops up. It could be your boss, it could be someone higher than you, it could be a friend, it could be someone in church or anything. But the way the person relates with you, you realize that the person expects something else. The person expects
So
something
would you
else.
say
And
that
as your
most women
question,
who find themselves in this situation are pressured into the relationship? Would
of
you say
course,
something like that?
he's nice. He buys you things, but anytime he sees you, he will give you something. He will dash you something. He's trying to woo you. He's trying to be nice to you. You understand? And then if you are not, Oprah says something. You see a man and you like, oh, this is the kind of man I want. Me, one thing I do is I tell God, I communicate with God. I tell him what I want. I tell him my specific, I tell him my specs. I tell him what I want. So if I see something I like, I tell him in our next meeting, I talk to him like how we are doing. I talk to him, I tell him that, okay, God, this and this and this is what I want. And trust you me, it works. It works. Works. Our prayers works. So if you meet a guy, for the benefit of those watching, if you meet a guy and you realize he's married and you see some specs about him you like, pray about it. God, please, my man should be this, my man should be that. Be specific. Don't just pray, God, I need a husband. God, give me a husband. No, be specific. What are the things you want in your husband? Tell God. He will give it to you. He will give it to you. When you meet someone you like, tell God that, God, if he's the one, like tell me, show me, But when it comes to when married men start pursuing you or start wooing you, you should be. It's not easy. I want to be as real as possible. It's not easy because of the things you are seeing. I'll end right now. Okay, because of the things he perhaps might give you and all that. You have to be firm. You have to be. Sometimes you just have to even cut or block. I have blocked like five numbers. You just block the person. The person will find you on Facebook. The person will find you on Facebook. You block the person. They'll find means and ways to find you. You have to find a way of blocking the person. But if you just leave it, and you keep talking, you keep talking, you keep talking to the person, by the time you realize you've fallen into the whole convert yourself.
Wow. So let's go back to Oprah. Now, I want to ask from your own experience. Our time is fast spent soon. I want to know your thoughts on this, but I also want to know your thoughts on where you have even single men who are not your spec or are not Christian coming after you? How do you deal with them when they are not your spec, they are not Christian, they know what you want, but like Becky said, they are pestering you, they are buying things. And people typically would say that you can always win over a woman if you do enough. How do you see that, as a Christian lady?
Seriously, when I talked about, thank you for that question, though, but when I talked about, what I desire in a perfect husband, it's always important that we should always try to bring the conversation back to ourselves. So everything I would say I want or I desire, I also have to want and desire that for myself. Like I want to be a person of integrity as well. And that's where I want to talk about the fact that they would always chase. Scripture says that the devil is a lion, a roaring lion. He's looking for who to devour. They would always be chasing. And again, naturally, why the spotlight will not be on men is because by default, men are chasers. They pursue. It is now open-ended and left to the reaction of the woman in the story. So it will either be, okay, did she accept or did she not accept? So if you're a Christian woman of integrity, you shouldn't even be like, oh, should I accept? You know that is wrong. You know that is wrong. Whether he's your boss, whether he buys you whatever, heaven and earth, you know as a person of integrity, sold out to God first, before your emotions, that this is wrong. So we should not give room to say, they are not blaming the men. Most of this, we never get to blame them. We don't have to blame them for you as a person, as a woman, to say, no, I've come to this point where whatever, I'm going to be true to myself and I'm going to be true to God. So those are my thoughts on that, that whatever it is, be true to yourself, be true to God, because they will come. Are you not fine? You are fine. Who doesn't like a fine thing? They will come. Are you not intelligent? Are you not smart? They will come. But again, once you're true to yourself, once you have this Christian aura about you, then people will know from a distance that, this one, or guy, even if you try, you will not get her. They would know. And I'm saying this from personal experience. I remember when I was in uni, and people, okay, I was a campus fellowship president, and they were gathering, they had placed bets that, oh, this girl will get her now. But from experience with God, and it's not by strength. When I heard the rumor, okay, this is what people are planning, some guys, I went to God and I said, God, please, you help me by my own strength. And were there some guys there there are some guys there that I thought, oh, this guy is fine, oh, this guy is fine. But I knew that, God, you would have better for me. So this is not even what I'm looking at. The question of even single brothers or single guys coming, just know who you are, know your values. Scripture says that can two work together except they agree. Know your values, and your values are bettered from your place in God. Know that, okay, I don't want a guy who smokes and drinks. So any guy that comes and no matter how much he has, you know that, okay, this is not in my value set, so I can't even accept him. No matter if he maybe is quoting one or two scriptures, know where you're going, know that, okay. And again, I remember Becky talked about the fact that you have to be compatible and complementing. So know that, okay, does this guy actually compliment me? You're coming to me, just compliment me on all levels. Because the thing is, most people just go into marriage because they are pressured or they are at a certain age that, okay, at this age, I want to get married. And they get married. But are you thinking about it in the long run? Okay, would I be comfortable with this person? Is this the kind of person that I want to go out with and say, this is my husband? On all levels, spiritually, financially, physically, let's not deceive ourselves that, okay, because he's in church, he's a choir member or he's a prayer team, and I'm okay. No, let's be true to ourselves. Know your values. Know what you want for your life in God, and then pattern your life according to that way, so that you're able to say, "No, I'm sorry," politely. Sorry, oh, I don't think we can work. I have someone that I think he asked me very politely. He wanted something, but I checked this brother. I didn't have the peace. First of all, I didn't have the peace. I was fighting with it in my spirit. Why was I fighting with it? Because this brother is actually a good guy. But the fact that he's a good guy does not mean he's the God guy for you. So you have to also think about all those things and then put your life into perspective and be intentional. Yeah.
All right. So Oprah said that your values are superior to your emotions. Your values should be superior to your emotions. The big picture of your vision, like Becky said, should dictate the decisions you make more than just your emotions. I wrote something about this in my one of my previous books, Entangled. Yeah, Entangled. I don't know. Some of the ladies sitting with me may have read this, and it's very important to keep that in mind. That your values, your vision, should be superior to your emotions. We are aware that this is something that you have to fight with. If something is of value, you have to fight for it. Becky has said that she had to leave a job in order to protect her integrity. I mean, it can be as serious as that, and I like those decisions. So we'll be rounding up very shortly, but I want to go a little further with relationships generally. Now, we want to talk about boundaries. How do you know when the boundary is being crossed? Even when the person hasn't said anything, he hasn't said, "I want to marry you," he hasn't said, "I want to befriend you," he hasn't said, "I love you," he hasn't bought anything for you. But how do you know when the chemistry is building, and what do you do? Do you prompt the man to say something? Do you say, "Oh, let me get away from this person, I'm getting too close"? How do you manage chemistry that happens to each and every person, each and every lady? In this period of isolation, of lockdowns, we find that probably there are ladies that are living alone. Their normal, regular relationships they have, they are being cut off from it, and they have to deal with, maybe there's a neighbor who is also a single man living next door, or there's somebody who is calling them, and they are yearning for that relationship, that natural human connection. At the same time, they have to deal with the possibility that that human connection exposes them. So how do you handle all of those things? The chemistry, what is the boundaries of relationships, even friendships with men? Go ahead. Let me start from Rebecca, please. Becky.
Okay. Hmm. See, talking from personal experience, during this lockdown, it was no joke. 3 weeks alone in your room, moving from what's the name, sitting room to bedroom to the washroom to the kitchen. It was so boring. Was so boring. But what kept me going was I was just watching movies, you know, and we have these Bible studies online, the Bible steering team. So we update the group every day, and I happen to be the leader for that group, the God group. So I have the audio Bible on my phone, and I listen to it. Then afterwards, I watched my movie. It was so boring. And as you said, I was yearning for human, what's the name? Contact, human connections, you know. And interestingly, calls were not coming through my phones
Interaction.
either. So this question is really interesting. And it happens that most of we ladies now are living by ourselves. And it's very challenging when you don't have, as Oprah said, you don't have your values. You have to really check your values. What is, okay, this is it. This is where everything ends, you know? So with the boundaries, I will still go to my what's the name? Aside my spirituality, I'll still go to my vision. My vision. because I do not want to waste time with engage with someone who has no idea what I am passionate about. So when for me, chemistry happens when I realize that okay, the two of us have like the same line of thought, but unfortunately, most of us are, I would say, for lack of words, selfish. If I say selfish, we only think of oh, I'm done with school, I've done my service, let me keep to myself, let me keep to myself. So it makes it difficult for me. I say it makes it difficult for me because of my ideologies. What stirs me up? You meet people who just talk empty. So when the chemistry do not build even it doesn't even build,
Okay,
it doesn't
there's no
even get
chemistry in the first place.
opportunity. Yeah, it doesn't even get opportunity to you start talking to a guy and then what are you wearing? Like I want to have a video chat with you. It's like it's always something else, like sexual mostly. And it's how like it's a turn off. It just turns off just like that, So those parts there, me that is my ish. You the I am in a flat whereby we have single guys. You see them go down, they stepped out to work and all that. And during this lockdown, most of them were, and you perhaps you get down to go and get something at your hood, and you see they really want to engage with you, okay, but you stop and you talk to the person, and then you realize that this person, So I think I'll let Oprah
All right,
continue with.
Oprah. All right. So your thoughts on that one? Your thoughts on that? Boundaries, even in friendships, both Christian and
Okay,
non-Christian friends.
so my
When the
thoughts,
chemistry is building, how do you handle?
is, honestly speaking, if we should be truthful, the issue of boundaries is something we don't always have, especially among Christian singles, because there's the fact that you want to have healthy relationships. Like, okay, let these brothers not think that I'm not approachable. So you don't want to also put too much of a front or too much of a wall. So again, I just think your manner of speech is very important. It's a pointer to me that this brother, I'll start putting inside in the zone, like the brother zone, very, very soon. So like if your speech is too leading, or just misleading, like if you're not, because there are some brothers too that they'll be saying some things and you're not getting the message. You're like, what exactly are you saying? Are you interested? Are you not interested? Like they speak in hanging terms. In Nigeria, we call them chemistry brothers. Like they are there, but they are not there. They don't want. I don't just understand. So for those kind of people, I would always say that any guy that is over engaging, he's engaging my time. Then I would ask you, what is happening? Because you cannot be engaging my time. Like let's say you call 5 times a week and you're just calling me to hello, I'm checking up on you. That's not really normal. It's not. I don't know, but it's not really too much. Like if it's one time, but if you're like consistent and then you're not saying, oh, let's move on. You're just engaged. Maybe once to deep understand, but like over engaging is a pointer that this person wants something, but this person is not saying it. So you should be able to speak up. Again, one of the things that a lot of us as ladies, we've been trained not to speak up. So we just hang in there and we just wait. But I think that it's important that anybody that's engaging you above normal, your normal is different from my normal. Anybody that is engaging you above your normal, then you should be having that conversation that wait, so what is happening and create that boundary if necessary. And generally, I mean, for safety, just have your general boundaries that okay, maybe I won't speak to guys after some certain hours of the day. I don't really do that, but I mean, it's general. It could help just so that you don't get into a fix or a kind of situation that you don't even understand. And then just the words that they use. By the time it's calling you darling, baby, sweetie, all those things, just ask for clarity so that you're not because a lady is often triggered by what she hears, responds to what she hears. So by the time you're always saying, "Oh my love, how are you? Have you eaten? Ah, I was just thinking of you today, or you're running through my mind." By the time you're saying all those things consistently, constantly, then she starts to build castles in her head, and it's just almost a default. But as a Christian, yes, you have to curtail it. But this is constant, and this is the same thing you're hearing over and over again. I mean, it's going to be a bit difficult. So at those kind of points, it's always important to just take a break and define what is going on. So, yeah.
So, do I hear you say, as a Christian lady yourself, if you find those boundaries being crossed, you verbally call the person to order? What if you tell the person, "Oh, I noticed this and I don't like this," and he happens like, what is that? What are you talking about? How do you how do you treat that?
No, no, but I mean, again, the thing is that we receive things differently. So you could be doing something harmlessly, but I'm taking it that, oh, this guy is loving me. Also innocently, I'm also doing that. So the fact that you're voicing it, the fact that you're talking about it is just for a form of clarity. Once he says, oh no, this is not what I meant, so I'm just doing my brotherly church brother checking up on you. Then fine. I mean, fine. There's nothing spoiled. We are good. We are church brother and sister. Then I could tell you that, oh, you're calling too much, shall please can you reduce it because it's affecting me. And the thing about it is that I've noticed in church, they're silent on the issues of our emotions and relationships. It's almost like it's a taboo. So we don't talk about these things. And these things happen to everybody. I believe it happened to our parents. But right now, in the generation we are in right now, we cannot be silent. The younger people behind us, they don't respond silently. So we're not just going to say, just be quiet. They want to know why. Why is this happening to me? Why am I feeling this way? This guy is talking to me. Oh my God. Whereas the guy is just, doing it harmlessly. And the girl is already building castles. And it could be vice versa. It could be the girl who is always like, brother, oh, you're the best. You're awesome. Oh, I can't do without you. You help me a lot. And then the brother too is thinking, I found my wife. Glory be to God. Whereas the girl is just being caring. So, excuse me, we have to always communicate those things. We should not be ashamed. And sometimes it's also good to have people above you that, like your mentors, that you can be like, big sister, papa, or mama, or look at what I'm going through. This is how I'm feeling. That they'll be able to tell you, no, get yourself together, or this is this, or call the guys, okay, is there something? So just look for those credible escape routes that can help you. So
Brilliant.
yeah,
Thank
those
you
are
very
my
much.
thoughts.
So I hear you. One of the key things I'm taking away from here is, if a brother is interested in you in terms of a relationship, he should be bold enough to verbally and clearly state so at some point, right? So, and then at the same time, if you feel uncomfortable with the boundaries somebody is crossing, you should be
Yes,
able
you
to
should
verbally
do.
and gently state that I'm not comfortable with this level of relationship. All right, so we have just about 5 minutes left. So I want to turn back to Becky, and I want Becky to say some final
All
words
right.
of encouragement to Christian ladies, and particularly focus on ladies that are doing very well. They are getting ahead in life. They are visionary like you, and sometimes they are intimidating men, right? In a sense. So the men feel that this person is too high for me. They are rich, they are driving their own car, maybe have their own houses, but they are also, in quotes, lonely. And they are not seeing the kind of person that wants to be bold enough to approach them. So I want you to encourage those set of people in 1 or 2 minutes as we round off.
Okay, so with such women, I would say keep doing what you are doing. Keep doing what you are doing. At the right time, God Himself will make all things beautiful. You know, unfortunately for our part of the world where a successful woman struggles so much, like the men are like, oh, when you get married to her, she will not be submissive, she'll be bossy and all that. I believe I keep saying this. There's life after marriage. There's life after marriage. So if you are having it right now, don't 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 um don't lower the standard. Don't lower the standard and be like, oh, let me just uh do something. Let me just stop doing this so that I'll be appealing to a man. Please, the right time, God Himself will show up. Keep trusting Him. Keep trusting Him. The day you will be like, oh, let me just go my way. The Bible says that do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. So no, you feel lonely. I said this was in the corona pandemic, whereby there's this social distance and people are isolating themselves and keeping to themselves. It's indeed lonely. You close from work, you come home, and there's no one at home to greet you to say, oh, how was your day? Share with me how your day was, how your day went, and all that. It's indeed lonely. But as I said, keep for whatever you find yourself. For me, I don't want to say this. I don't want to sound what's the name, negative. I want to sound positive, but I wanted to say we are here for a reason. God created us for a reason. He brought us to this earth for a reason. If whatever you are doing, you stop doing it, you fail a whole generation. Okay, so if you feel like, oh, if I pursue this, I'll be so high in society, and because of that, I might not get a husband. No, when you bring the standard down, you fail a whole generation. A whole generation is depending on your decision you make. So I encourage such ladies who find themselves in higher in society, high in education, high in wherever they find themselves, to keep doing what they are doing. And they should do the best out of wherever they should be the best in whatever they do. At the right time, God Himself will like you will meet that man, whether you are 40, whether you are 45, whether you are 50, He will bless you with that man. And you'll be happy. You'll be happy.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. So, Oprah, I want you to focus on the young ladies who may have made mistakes in the past, who are laden with guilt, and they are young. They are not seeing the future clearly. I don't know what kind of encouragement you can give them right now in this context. We just have about 1 minute.
Wow. Okay, so I just want to encourage all you single ladies that it's not the end in itself. Just dust yourself up, go back to God. Because when you go back to God, you become better, and God has a plan for you. You just have to open your eyes and see it. Trust God.
Thank you so much. So, we're going to just pray for a few minutes for the same people you encouraged. Because of our time, I'll just pray, and then we will agree with me in prayer. Oh, Father, we thank you for this time we spent speaking. And there are so many people that will listen to our voices that we don't even know. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what their situations are like. But we're praying for them today that they will find some comfort, some instruction, some revelation, some insight in the thoughts that have been shared today, and that they will find strength to keep going on in you, to walk with you, to do things your way. Help us to do things your way in the midst of a world that is changing, that is continually changing, continually defining things, redefining things. Help us to maintain our stand on your word. Help us to take our stand with you. Help us to see the big picture and to honor you with our lives. Thank you for every woman watching. Find them their spouses at their right time. And even for those who may never have spouses, help them to accept the role that you have assigned for them to play on the earth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. I think it was an interesting discussion. And I think that some people will benefit from it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go live and replay it on Facebook. And then if you are chance at any time, and maybe somebody comments, feel free to respond to the questions with them too. So thank you very much. So we shall meet. Maybe there'll be part two. Maybe there'll be part two.
That'll be fantastic.
Okay. All right then. Well,
Okay.
I was surprised that the meeting didn't end at 1 hour. So I guess Zoom is doing bonus for us. So, but all the same, we'll just save our time and all that. Thank you so much. Okay? All right. So thank you, Oprah, and greet those in Lagos for us. Okay.
Welcome.
Greet Lagos. Yeah.
Bye.
So please, before I leave, so Oprah has a YouTube channel. Please make sure you subscribe if you're watching this. Subscribe to Oprah Coco. And Becky always, once in a while, she does this outreaches. Sorry? I will let you talk about your channel a little bit. So Becky does this outreaches for the less privileged. She can be found as Ama on Facebook. Ama Akwete. Sorry, that's the pronunciation. Ama Akwete on Facebook. So if you want to sponsor, you can do that at any time you want. So I'll just give them another, since we have time from Zoom, another 30 seconds or 45 seconds to talk about what they are doing. So Oprah, over to you on your channel.
Okay, so hello again, everyone. I had such an amazing time this evening. So basically, I'm a YouTuber and a content creator. I have a channel on YouTube. It's called Oprah Coco, like my name, Oprah Coco. And basically, it's a faith and lifestyle channel. What that means is that everything about it is about God, but it also shows my life. So it shows the average life of a Nigerian Christian girl. So it's Oprah Coco, aka that Niger Christian girl. So please, if you like faith and lifestyle vlogs and everything just related to Jesus and to God, and let's just come and struggle together, learn together, grow together, and live together. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Tom.
Thank you very much. So Becky,
Okay,
tell us a little bit about your stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
So mine is what's the name? Work in progress. Actually, it's going to be an NGO soon. We'll be working with the less privileged. Actually, we want to our agenda is by the next decade or two, we should be able to get rid of straightism, whereby we give opportunity to the less privileged in society. So it's a work in progress, actually. But for now, we are doing this as Mr. Ken said, we are doing this picking societies and working with the less privileged. So at the right time, I'll share my NGO, the name, and then how to get through. Perhaps one of these days you get my letter, my proposal letter on your desk, so that you.
Thank you so much. I'll be expecting. So
yeah,
she just taught me.
It's called the new chapter.
The new chapter. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The new chapter. She just taught me a new word, streetism. She wants to get rid of
street. Yeah, we want to get do away with the kaya thing. We don't want them in the south. We have to create we have to hold them up there by getting them jobs and a decent place to sleep. It's a huge ambition. It's huge. That's why I keep saying that the vision is big and the compliment is important, So it's a huge ambition. I'm trusting God to come through for us. And I hope that when you see the new chapter proposal on your desk, you write as a big yes.
Oh my goodness. Wow. We're waiting for you. That I mean, after you do Accra, you can come to Lagos. The 1 million people. What do you call them again? Oprah. 1 million man gang. Well, the boys. The what do you call them again?
1 million
The street
boys.
boys.
1 million
1 million
boys.
boys. They used to be.
1 million boys.
It was. I believe it was the street boys that morphed into 1 million boys. So maybe if we deal with streetism, we'll be able to deal with crime in that area. All
Yeah,
right, ladies.
if I may, with the world is changing. The world is changing fast, very fast. And as a people, as Africans, it's about time we position ourselves at a strategic place. And how do we do that? We have to do that by empowering each other, Because when we're able to empower each other in terms of our finances, in terms of our shelter, in terms of our clothing, we have the confidence to be able to fight together. We'll have one voice, because right now everybody is trying to hustle for what you chop, what you will sleep, where you sleep, what you wear. But if we're able to empower each other to be able to get the basic needs, we can be able to join hands and then fight the bigger picture. That's in the bigger stuff out there, as in African unity and all those stuffs. We can't be united when the people in here are separate. As in, everybody wakes up, goes to work, go and get something to eat. But when we all have that purchasing power, when we all have that place we can lay our head, we are secured. We can wake up and then voice out and then start creating big things, start chanting for change, start making sure that the system works, and that
It's like Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow's theory of needs. He built a pyramid where the level at which we are, most people are at the bottom. We are struggling for the basics: what to eat, what to drink. So that self actualization peak is something that very few people are thinking about. So that's why many people, they just want to get married and take care of their children.
And just be in their house like that.
So we have to go, okay? For
Okay.
the sake of time,